and we're here with a 4-3-2-2 because we play for fun.
Hey. Alright.
Opening up this first pack, we got a few interesting options. I think one of the better commons in the set, Sky Knight Legionnaire.
Very good.
It'll commit you to a Boros build if you think that you ought to be committed off your first pick. Also, we have an Experiment 1, which is an excellent uncommon for Simic. Also, there's an Angelic Edict, which I think is underrated, but it's also good. And I would think Massive Raid and Metropolis Sprite are both excellent picks here. For me, the pick is going to be between the Sky Knight Legionnaire and this Experiment 1. I really don't like Simic right now, although the trend currently is to go ahead and pick Simic.
I like the Legionnaire.
What do you think, Luis? You like
2/2 flyer haste for 3. Boros is the best build in the set right now, so
I tend to agree. The Boros build is probably the deepest guild, so I'm okay picking that Sky Knight Legionnaire. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we've got a Sky Knight Legionnaire with the first pick, and here we go, second pick, and there is nothing in the Boros guild really. There's a Slaughterhorn here. There's also a Smite, a Guardian of the Gateless, a Mind Eye Drake, which is, it's actually underrated, I think, currently.
let's see. Well,
There's really nothing else worth talking about here. The Glaring Spotlight is okay. I've seen it do some work.
I think here we can go ahead and take another flyer, right?
I'm okay with grabbing this. I'm a little reticent because I feel like Gate Crash right now is all about your curve, and grabbing a 5-drop is somewhat. I'm somewhat reticent about doing that.
It leaves us open to either being Boros or Orzhov now,
Okay.
if we take it.
Okay. If we were going to think we were Orzhov, I think Smite is a better pick. But if we want to try to keep open our first pick, I think Guardian of the Gateless is probably better. So let's go ahead and pick Guardian. Okay.
Wow.
Holy smoke!
Couple good third picks here.
This is probably the best common in the set here with Grizzly Spectacle. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that. And if they do, it'll be tongue in cheek. We also have this Scar Guildmage, the Wasteland Viper, and a Bomber Core. For what we're wanting to do with the first two picks we have here, I like the Bomber Core. I don't like it as a third pick, but I like it as what we're trying to do. For what I'm thinking, we might want to consider the fact that it has 2 black in the casting cost makes it really difficult.
Yeah.
What do you think, Luis?
I mean, that is just spot on removal. There's not a lot of artifact creatures that you're really going to worry about. So, and the Guild Mage is awesome as well, but I think I like the Spectacle. I think the removal is the way to go here.
Okay, let's pick the Spectacle and hedge that way. Let's see what we can do here.
Let's see what pops up here.
Okay, well,
We're getting definite Orzhov and Gruul signals.
This is tough because Orzhov Charm, Ground Assault, and Vaishina Shanktail are all excellent uncommons, and there's the commons are gone out of this pack as well as the rare.
Right.
So you have a Madcap Skills, which is not bad, and a Vaishina Shanktail, both of which could fit into our first two picks here with the Guardian and the Sky Knight. As far as the Vaishina Shanktail goes, we could possibly pick the Orzhov Charm and turn on the Grizzly Spectacle, the Guardian of the Gateless, and kind of stay in that vein. I think for me, the Ground Assault's off the table, because the fact that the only card we have with red and casting cost is the Sky Knight Legionnaire right now.
Yeah.
It would be between the Vaishino Shanktail, the Madcap Skills, and the Orzhov Charm for me. And for me, the Orzhov Charm is head and shoulders above these two.
I agree.
Luis, are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
another just spot removal spell.
We'll go ahead and grab that Orzhov Charm. All right, here we go. This next pack, this is a little bit different. What do you think about this one, Luis?
Well, immediate things I saw were Dutiful Thrall and Basilica Guards, both really good cards for your Orzhov builds. The Aristocrat's a fine 2/2 that can get around removal spells and whatnot. Don't know if it's where we want to be. I like the Guards for the Extort and the ground blocker.
I think I tend to agree with
I
you.
think that's a little bit better than Dutiful Thrall there.
I think I tend to agree with you. I think we can get a dutiful throw later if we need it. I also am not a huge fan of the Cartel Aristocrat because of the fact that you have to sacrifice a creature.
Right.
In this game, this set seems to be all about creatures, so I'm kind of going to go ahead and be okay with the Basilica cards. Go ahead and grab it and see what happens. Okay, here comes an Angelic Edict and a Gutter Skulk. A Gutter Skulk. I'm willing to go ahead and say the 2 drops are the most important thing in this format right now.
Right.
Burning Tree Emissary is excellent if you're Gruul. We are clearly passing a Gruul signal with Disciple of the Old Ways and Burning Tree Emissary. So the guy to our left is going to be taking Gruul. So that means he's going to take red and green out of the pack, which is excellent because it leaves us black and white open hopefully. Here, I'm a big fan of removal in any way you can get it.
Indeed.
I love a Gutter Skulk. Don't get me wrong. You got to have it. It's excellent with the smite.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm leaning towards the Angelic Edict here.
That's fine.
Luis, are you okay with that?
That's fine with me. That's just removal for anything.
Okay, let's go ahead and grab it.
And in these kinds of decks, lots of removal is pretty good. That's pretty late Denrova Horror.
That is a pretty late. I will agree with you. That's an excellent card, especially when they don't have any cards in hand. You can basically get rid of a card that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not super stoked about. Corpse Denizen's excellent if you're aggressive and you're attacking a lot. Zarichi Tiger is an excellent 23rd card if that's what you got to have. Immortal Certitude is it's fine, but it's not great.
Yeah, I don't think it's the power level of the horror.
Do we want to talk about taking this Denrova Horror, or do we want to
so.
grab the Court Street Denizen?
I think overall power is pretty good here.
Okay, so let's grab this, see what happens.
Splashing for that blue shouldn't be too hard.
This is a pretty bad pack here. I'm looking at this because it can just be like a 7 power, or excuse me, a 7 life swing in a turn if
potential.
You cast it, and then cipher it onto a creature, swing with the creature, and you know it's not going to get blocked and hit them. Even if it's a 1/1, it'll just really devastate them.
Black and white has a couple good flyers as well, so I think it's a pretty good pick here.
Okay, we'll grab a Shadow Slice here.
So here's the original pack, and nothing really came back. Nothing.
Now, it depends on whether or not we're probably not going to be Boros now.
Probably not.
And we're really,
we don't have to do that either.
Now, Dimir is kind of the. I've heard a lot of people lean towards the Esper build, where you have a little blue splashed in with your black and white. So for me, it's going to be this actually Shielded Passage, which
we might be able to play that.
I think is underrated currently. Your riot gear is okay. It's extra slow. We need to note that there's an Act of Treason and a Mark of Death in that pack, but we'll go ahead and grab that Shielded Passage for now. Oh boy.
Yeah, these packs are drying up.
Drying up pretty hard. Now, I have not been impressed with Coerced Confession. I just really am not a big fan of spending 5 mana to do nothing with your turn, more or less.
Yeah, it'll be good in the right Dimir build, obviously, but I do think the Midnight Recovery is probably a better sideboard card for us right now.
I will absolutely acquiesce to that. Here we go. Crapped. Okay, well this time I think we go ahead and take the Coerced Confession since we passed one last time, and it's basically between the Midnight Recovery and the Coerced Confession. Since we can play the Coerced Confession, it's not that hard to pick here. Although it should be.
Way of the Thief might be talkable if we're going to be trying to get some gates in there.
I agree, and this is an excellent card against Boros because it just blocks most of their wiener drops.
Yeah. All right, so
I think here it's obviously the Beckon Apparition just because it's an excellent cipher target for a 1/1 flyer, and it's cheap, so you can get some extort value off of it late in the game. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that here. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine. It's better than Horror of the Dim. And
okay.
None of these cards matter.
Not playing this poop. Go ahead and hide that. Hey, a Shielded Passage. I don't think we'll play 2, but it's nice to have them.
Yeah. So overall,
somebody passes a Hydroform instead of a land, so somebody's not seeing the value in that I was.
Overall, a pretty okay pack, I guess.
So we open here. Okay, well,
Stolen Identity.
Stolen Identity is one of the better cipher cards in the set, if not the best one. You also have an Assault Griffin to consider.
Mm-hmm.
Another Guardian of the Gateless.
The Dimir Charm, kinda.
We could talk about the Dimir Charm.
Maybe want to stay away from the blue a little bit.
I understand. I think that because this set is so dependent upon the synergies in the guilds, we want to kind of lean towards an Orzhov build. We don't have a syndicatize or anything like that, but for me, I'm leaning towards this guy
Yeah,
here,
we can pick another
just because he's
Guardian.
only one more than this, and he's just a whole lot better.
Yeah.
This is just an excellent card, but that 2 blue and the casting cost really makes me reticent about picking it.
Yeah, me too.
What do you think, Luis?
I think I'm good with the Guardian. We're kind of low on the creatures right now. He's a 3/3 flyer that can block everything. You know,
He turns on some smites later in the
turn on
game.
some smites.
Uh,
He's good for our Shadow Slice right now. So I think our flyer is a way to go here.
we'll take him. That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and cost sort these, see where we're at. I'm gonna go ahead and hide this Skynet Legionnaire because I don't think we're splashing red. Okay,
Okay, and there's
well,
this pack.
this is something.
I don't. I mean, for the extort, it might be something. There is the Shadow Alley. If we start picking up some more black creatures, a 4/4 flyer for 2, which is good with our Shadow Slice.
A 2/2 flyer for 4, right?
2/2 flyer for 4, excuse me. So, I mean, Leyline Phantom isn't a bad card, a 5/5 for 5.
Sure, yeah. I definitely
Um,
think this card is more beneficial to the Simic deck
right.
when it comes up. This card right here is just it's something else. It can really just stop anything they've got on the ground. If we end up with blue. But right now, because our blue is so light, we have this Denrova Horror possibly.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
I
just
want
take
to
a.
talk about the Blind Obedience versus the Shadow Alley Denizen or maybe the Millennial Gargoyle because I think we can table this. So I'm on this right now because of the extort on it.
Alright,
Luis, what do you
sure.
think? Okay.
This pack was pretty weak, anyways, so.
All right. So we got a Blind Obedience. That's fine. Okay. Here. This
There is the Kingpin's Pet.
that's probably one of the best cards for extort that you can have.
2/2
Uh,
flyer for 3.
I
Works
think
well with the Shadow Slice.
I think we're good. I think we're in agreement here.
Assault Griffin's also good, but
It's good, but it doesn't have any other upside other than the 3/2,
right.
which you can trade with the Kingpin's pet. So let's go ahead and grab the
Yeah.
Kingpin's pet here. Move on.
It's the first black card we've seen in a while. Well, Throw Parasite's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, there's a Skulk. That's the second Demir Charm we've seen.
Wow. Somebody's playing some Demir, huh?
Um, I
I,
think we take the. Well, now we can really have that extort because we've got. If we pick the Parasite, we've got extort creatures at 1. We've got the Blind Obedience at 2. Kingpin's Pet, Silver Guards. So we can really start turning on that extort now.
I really like. I think you're right. I really just like this. It also has just something else that is just against the Simic deck. You can really make combat weird with the pay 2 life and remove a counter. So are we on the Thrall Parasite
I
then?
believe so.
Okay, let's grab that. Wow, we are getting Infinity Guardians of the Gateless, but
But
here I
now,
think we just
yeah,
have to take the best common in the set,
yeah,
which I just it going this late is just nuts.
that is pretty nuts for me.
Again,
It's just remove any creature in the game, basically.
yeah, as long as it's not an artifact, you can just get rid of it. I mean, there's something to be said for Nav Squad Commandos, where our 5 drop is
Yeah,
definitely full.
we're pretty good
And
there.
again, this stinking Guardian of the Gateless, holy cow, there's just so many of those. But let's go ahead and grab this Grizzly Spectacle and just move on.
Balustrade Spy was the first card I looked at, and I think it's pretty good.
Balustrade Spy is an excellent card. It's excellent in the 4 drop. It does cool things. More often than not, it hits more than just one land.
It's
I
good for
really
our Shadow Slice.
I agree with you. I really think that the Shadow Alley Denizen is something to consider at some point. This is not that point yet.
Yeah,
Same with the Beckon Apparition, because as soon as they have a card in their graveyard, you have a 1/1 flyer, and it makes combat awkward for them. But here the Balustrade Spy is just a really just a whole lot higher power level. I mean, obviously we have 2 shielded passages already. We're not going to take that. So what we're going to want to hope to table is either a Shadow Alley Denizen or a Beckon Apparition. We'll go ahead and take this Balustrade Spy.
maybe pick up some Whites of Precinct 6 now. That would be pretty neat.
Gee whiz. Okay, because we have a lot of
High end.
extort currently, we're really looking for creatures on the low end, and because we've seen so many Beckon Apparitions go by, we're going to hope we can get one of those later. And right now, because of this regenerate ability on this, just this card becomes excellent. If you have 2 or 3 extort cards in play, you want to be able to play this and be able to extort
A
off
couple
of it.
times, yeah.
So I'm okay with
I'm
grabbing this here.
I'm good
How
with
you feel
that.
about that?
I'm good with that as well. I like
Okay.
it.
Okay. Let's go and grab that and move on. All right. This card right here
Just
is just
gonna grab all the removal spells.
well, they're good. They're excellent if you have two or three devouring flesh. They're not particularly good as just a one of, because if they have two or three creatures, you're just going to get rid of the worst creature that they have. If you play craftily with it, you get rid of one of their decent creatures in combat. It starts to get a little bit better. Now the life gain is relevant if you're trying to extort, because it will undo some of your extortion work in the late game. But I think this is obviously the pick in this pack. Wow,
Alright.
this is a miss for us here. We have this armored transport, which we could play because it's colorless.
Yeah.
There's
Don't
also
really.
a totally lost and a psychic strike, which is it's just one of the few counter spells in the format. It's kind of good. And again, we have still talked about this splash where we haven't seen the Dimir Guildgate come through.
That's true.
But because we're
Uh,
at 8 creatures, I'm almost going to lean towards this armored transport just to be something that we can extort off of. Luis, what do you think?
Alright, that works for me.
Okay.
I think we can take
This
a gargoyle
This is
here.
a pretty easy gargoyle here because this, while it does give all creatures you control vigilance, we don't have any gates yet to really make it worth anything. So the Millennial Gargoyle is playable at 4, which again is a little high in the curve. But again, here we're just probably gonna take the combat trick. That's the
Maybe play it, maybe not.
only thing in our colors.
Alright, Skull came back.
We got a Skulk. That's excellent. We'll take that all day.
2 drops are pretty important. Let's go ahead and take another.
Yeah, I'll take another one over this just because
Yeah,
we have so many 5 drops that are just
way
better than
better.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Card's
we got the
decent.
shielded passage back.
At least
Fine.
we won't have to worry about playing against that.
It makes some of our early trades better because they're not going to be trades anymore. I just don't think I don't see any universe in which we'll play 3 of those.
Yeah, I agree.
Gee whiz.
Well, there's another spectacle. We can go deep on this removal deck.
When you're
Um,
playing Orzhov, removal is very important. And
mm,
if we can live to the 4th drop slot, I really think that this is just
this,
where we want to be.
yeah, that's fine with me.
Let's grab it.
It makes that we can cut Angelic Edict. Wow, Holy Mantle, really good.
It's just excellent. It
Put
makes
it on
any
any
creature you got
creature,
better.
you basically win. Synthetic Ties, really good 2 drop, especially for this build. That's a tough pick.
I'm gonna lean on that Syndic right
We
now
might
because we
have
just
to.
don't have enough creatures right
Yeah,
now to really make this happen.
and it's an extort creature, which we've got some going. It allows us to cut Blind Obedience now,
If we have to.
if we have to. Corpse Blockade's a nice defender on the ground. Um, and in this pack, we're not really missing out on much. There's not really too many cards here for us.
There's just this card right here is just solid.
Yeah, that's a good card.
This card right here is also solid. For the Gruul guys, your Zertos Swine is great. Your Burning Tree Emissary is great. I think we're
Well,
gonna,
I didn't even see the Demir Kirun in there. It does become a 2/2 unblockable.
and you can cipher
Will help
onto it.
us splash.
What do you think,
It's a
Kirun or the blockade? Because we are kind of high in in the curve right here, and if we
uh,
really want to turn on this Dinrova horror,
um.
I think there's a wheel. I really do.
All right, well let's try the Kirun then.
Let's grab that and let's talk about other stuff later.
Gift of Orzova. It's a great card.
As is this Executioner's Swing.
I feel like with the amount of removal that we do have, though, we just slap that on any one of our creatures.
How much removal do we have? We have a Devour Flesh. We
One,
have
two, three, four,
three Grisly
five,
Spectacles and an Angelic Edict
and the Orzhov Charm. That's
and
6.
the Orzhov Charm. Okay, so
I think
the problem with Creature Auras, folks, is that it just opens you up to a 2-for-1. So as soon as you cast it, your opponent gets rid of the creature that you're putting it on.
but they've got to have the card, and
They have to have it.
it's a great card to race with, flying and lifelink, and then we just put a Shadow Slice on the flyer. I think it works well with the deck we've got
Just
right now.
pile it on one creature. We'll go all in.
It's
I like going all in.
It's a
Let's
strong
do it.
card. Uh,
Ooh, buddy,
I
this is
think
tough. We have a Syndicate Enforcer, which is another
very
extorter.
good.
We have an Assault
Assault
Griffin.
Griffin,
We have
also
this
pretty good.
Orzhov Key Rune, which just becomes a
Helps
1
us
4
flash. Debtor's
lifelink.
Pulpit's pretty good.
Debtor's Pulpit is removable, and it's hard to deal with because it's an enchantment.
Yeah.
You also have this Executioner Swing, which I mean, it's just -5/-5 is different than dealing damage. It gets rid of almost anything that you need to get rid of, albeit it has to deal damage first.
Right.
That being the
So you're
catch.
chumping or taking a hit.
We're pretty deep in the 4s and 5s. I want to grab this because it just goes earlier, and it just hopefully we get it when we need it, and just get rid of something. This
Uh,
card's excellent.
yeah.
It just shouldn't still be here.
I would like the Assault Griffin over the Millennial Gargoyle, but maybe one more removal spell. We can sub it in for Devour Flesh
I
or
mean, even we get a
something.
Slate Street Ruffian, just something else to put early in the curve.
Yeah.
Oh
Uber's
my
Protector is pretty
goodness.
good,
Uh,
especially I mean, a 1/6 drop.
yep. I think this might replace our Denrova Horror and get rid of that
Yeah,
Demir Key Rune, and we're not playing the Armor Transport right
yeah.
now.
For the sake of just having just a 2-color deck.
Just a finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Something else that'll go great with Shadow Slice, and it gives you a 1/1 blocker no matter what.
Okay, here we go.
I think we take the Assault Griffin here if we're gonna.
We can
I would
talk.
say Prism
We have this.
or
We
the
have this.
Guildgate, but I think we might be stronger just playing our 2 colors. We've got really strong cards in those 2 colors.
All right, I'm okay with that. We have a really deep 4 slot. Something I'm talking about. Okay, well,
We might be cutting like Midnight Recovery here, and we will definitely be cutting Millennial Gargoyle. I think taking Thrall is fine at
okay.
this pick. Nothing else here.
This blocks
hmm
forever if you have the right mana. Oh my goodness. Do we need to grab this yet?
I mean, we could. We've got some.
Or do we grab this guy
I don't
because
know
he's
what
just
we.
a 2/2 for 3. He's a gray ogre with some upside.
We could rare draft here just cause. I mean, we've got some cards at 2. We wouldn't mind coming back to us.
Yeah, we could cut this Midnight Recovery
Yeah, we cut
and
that.
put in this, but just that 3.
Yeah,
Goodness gracious.
it's tough. Maybe the creature. Maybe the creature's right.
All right, let's grab the creature just to stay on target. I'm not grabbing another Shielded Passage. What's the best card out of this pack? This Alpha Authority.
Alpha Authority. I mean, really hurts us with our removal.
Yeah, let's
So,
grab that and get rid of that.
Course Blockade did come back. Good call.
We got it. All right, cool. We'll take it.
Naturalize. We've got a couple artifacts. It gets rid of our Gifts of Orzhova.
Sure. We're rid of that. Taking a Spire Tracer here just because it's playable.
And that's
Purge the
not.
Profane is a late game playable, which you're always happy to pick up.
And we'll take Mountain.
I think I'll take
It's
Mountain
the last
here.
pick.
That's right.
So it looks like we've got a nice little extort removal deck with a couple good finishers at the top end. The Gift of Orzhova, also very good.
All right, so we went ahead and what we like to do is rate your creatures and your spells, kind of just to get an idea of what you're going to be running. What we did was we left a couple Shielded Passages, Nero Maneuver, and we don't think we can run the Denrova Horror, the Beckon Apparition, Demir Kira, and the Millennial Gargoyle. We're all kind of weak in our opinion. So what we've got here is it's a pretty tall curve, but we hopefully have enough removal with these 3 Grizzly Spectacles, the Bower Flesh, the Executioner Swing, Orzhov Charm, to really get into the late game where hopefully our Guardians of the Gateless and our Urbis Protector can take over.
I think you can cut the Midnight Recovery, actually.
I'm going to be okay with cutting the Midnight Recovery off the bat. We need to get down to 23 playable so we can run 17 lands since we're only running 2 colors. Our creatures are down to 14, so that's really something we want to think about because we have a lot of spells, and we really want to make sure that we balance the spells versus the creatures for effectiveness. I'm kind of okay cutting a Shielded Passage. I think it's fine, but I think the Aerial Maneuver is better.
Right.
I'll
That's fine.
go ahead and cut this. We're down to 25, so we have 2 more cuts to make.
I'm not really sure how much I like Blind Obedience with all these flyers we've got going on here.
Yeah, there is something to be said for the Extort.
That's true. We do have the 1, 2, 3, 4. We do have 4 extort creatures.
And how many flyers do we have? We have one,
One,
two,
two, three,
three, four, five,
6. Kingpins. One, two,
six.
three, four, five, 6. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't think that's enough. Because this will also make another one a flyer.
True.
Uh, I think I'd rather get rid of the aerial maneuver than the blind obedience. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean,
Can we get
it's.
rid of both of them and just submit it? Because I mean, I don't think we're getting anything else. I mean, maybe the shadow slice. I just think the shadow slice on a flyer is just
Yeah, it's just too good.
it's just nuts. Maybe one of the dutiful thralls.
Kind
I
of
don't
like
know.
both of them.
Maybe the Slate Street Ruffian. He's kind of between a dutiful thrall and a Slate Street Ruffian are the weakest creatures that we have.
Right.
Uh, I'm thinking. All right, let's go ahead and we'll get rid of the blind obedience and the aerial maneuver and look at it. What do we think? Is this good?
Mm, so that'll leave us with
Just got rid of two of our two drops.
7 removal spells.
Oh, that's a flat curve.
Yeah.
That's rough. I wonder about this.
Do you think maybe an aerial maneuver might be better than one Devour Flesh or one Executioner Swing, just to have as a trick for one of our creatures?
I happen to think the Executioner Swing is better than Devour Flesh.
And I think that, yeah,
So you'd rather put the aerial maneuver in there to save a creature?
yeah, I think that might be right.
This way. And if we play a Boros deck, this can come in.
Yeah.
Just give us an extra turn to deal with what they've got. All right, we'll go ahead and add land.
Now, I guess there could be something to be said about putting the Millennial Gargoyle in over a Slate Street Ruffian, just because, I mean, it would make us a little heavy on the 4s, but it would make that Shadow Slice better. And Slate Street Ruffian, I feel like, despite his, valid ability, will just get blocked anyways.
What do you think,
With
man? You want to get rid
such
of
a
it?
fragile body. I think that might be right.
Okay, I'm okay with that. The mana came up 9 and 8, so I think that's probably right because we do have some double whites.
A lot of double
We do have some
black.
double blacks. Uh,
Did it go 9/8 black?
I'm gonna go. No, I went 9-8 white. I'm gonna go ahead and
Really?
go 9-8.
It's like the gift was probably throwing it off.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, this Herbis Protector, by the time we get there, hopefully we'll
I
have
will
two
have
white
it.
just in case. Submit it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
All right.
See you round 1.